It's Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. Wednesday, my dude.
And welcome into We Talk Sports Good. It is the first show of 2022 here for the We Talk Sports Good crew. And as always, I've got Randall here in the We Talk Sports Good virtual space as we are looking at this crazy madness of college football wrapping up shortly in the playoff picture in week 18, as hard as it is to say.
Dom, I wanna start the show out with a deep apology and condolences.
It is the sad Dom, as we feared would be ringing in the new year.
I, at first I was like, I don't know if I could handle a like so hyped up Dom. But then now I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I wish I would have gotten that actually. I wish I would have gotten a really excited Dom because it would have been nice to see you win one. And I'm sorry you didn't get to.
Yeah, I think if we won, I think I might have turned the cameras on and like tore my shirt for the show or something.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been. Oh, we really missed out on that. Just so everyone knows, I've told many people this, and this stands true. If the Longhorns ever win another national championship, I've promised all of my friends that I will be getting a tattoo, and I'll live stream me getting that tattoo
Nice.
on the show if that ever happens to actually happen in my lifetime. I'm not sure about it, considering Alabama makes it every year. So
yeah. Or Georgia has just dive right in. And you know what? It's funny is we won the toss and I was literally going receive, and then they deferred. I was like, that was already a little defeating. And look, I know straight up kickoff strategy doesn't determine the game.
No, but we talked about it. We both were like they should get the ball, and then in the in the other game we both agreed that Cincinnati should defer if they they won the toss. So
and it happened both ways, and then Michigan they won the toss and decided to defer, which as soon as they just march down the field, it's like, oh no, that's just going to ruin your offense. And that fourth down, look, that was the right play. That was the right decision to go for it on that first drive. It sucked because yes, that was literally played right into the Georgia always gets the ball at for like a 60-yard is their average touchdown drive, which is the shortest in college football because of how good their defense is. But I mean, fourth and short, right play, guy was open. McNamara threw a split second late. Probably if he got the ball out a little sooner, it would have been a better situation. But right read, right play, right decision. Fourth and short, you don't kick field goals. Like that field goal would have done nothing. It would have been a risky field goal that, I mean, wouldn't have mattered regardless. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a kickoff would have changed things, but just for the fact that they just straight up they got to stay in their game plan, and that game plan is deadly. They have 3 running backs that all do different things that all refresh the whole games that they could just run and run and run. They got to run their play action the whole time because that gave better windows, because that made Hutchinson have to really key in on runs a lot more. As much as people say he did absolutely nothing, he sucked. So what? Second player in the Heisman. He had 4 tackles, 1 for loss because his impact was all in the run game. Yes, he should have made a better impact on the pass game. Georgia had a good protection against him. Yes, I've seen the pictures and videos of the holds on him. They were pretty bad. No Michigan got away with some themselves, I'm sure. So, it's frustrating to see some of those. I don't think he made as zero impact as people are, Georgia fans are mocking him. It was still disappointing because, you do like to see that. But he's not getting the play how you want him to. He is a good run defender, so now he's shifting too much focus to that. We're losing his pass rushing, and Jabo is a freak athlete, but he is not a run defender. So if he has to do that, or he can't just get unleashed as a pass rusher, he had no tackles. He straight up had no impact.
Right.
So, I mean, they had a good game plan, good tackle play. I still think Stetson Bennett is mediocre, but he can be mediocre with that team. And his running ability is better for them, honestly, because it just kind of rolls out and it worked. Because the few times they had pressure, he ran out of the sack and got yards.
Yeah, so, for sure.
I mean, we had multiple blown coverages. Those deep balls he threw were not good. Straight up were just bad. The DB just gave up on that one. He underthrew that. DB pays attention. I think that could have been a pick. The linebacker was in terrible position. That was just bad coverage on that play. I mean, I don't think we're that much worse than them, but they were the better team.
I agree with that.
And I guess the last thing I really would say is this was kind of the game I feared that I thought would honestly actually happen for Ohio State, was that the offense. I have nothing. I like Cade McNamara, but my fear all season was he can win you all these other games, but he's not going to be able to keep up with an explosive offense or just really good team, and that's where you need to go with your superstar potential QB in McCarthy.
Yeah.
And yes, I know the second half Georgia's probably backing off a little bit, but they also do play to say we don't want to let up a touchdown. They do play like that. They were starters out their whole game, still blitzing. His arm and ability to escape the pocket changes things.
Yeah. Honestly, they just felt so much bigger, faster, stronger than y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
our offensive line of the year got beat up.
Yeah, it felt like they were physically dominating y'all on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And then especially you could really feel their defensive speed in that game, because I felt like y'all were constantly trying to get the edge, where in most games y'all would get that edge. And you'd be able to take off and get some extra yards, but they were swarming and going sideline to sideline so fast.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those short passes, the bubble screens. Just look at bubble screens. Georgia ran 20 of them, and they were almost all successful. We ran them, and they get like 2 yards, if that. And then Haskins, if he wasn't getting hit in the backfield, he was making good runs.
Yeah,
but
and I'll tell you what, I know a lot of, and I know you probably don't like it either, but like those wide receiver screens are really like what it ends up being is like physicality between the wide receivers and the corners. Whoever's going to be more physical. Yeah, if your receivers aren't physical and they're not wanting to get in somebody's face and block, then you're not going anywhere. And Georgia's receivers were blocking well, and y'all weren't able to shed those, and y'all's receivers were getting chucked. I mean, honestly, they really were. Like, if y'all tried to do a screen like that, it just wasn't working. So, it really was. They were bigger, stronger, dominating at the point of attack. Like, it was rough, but I think, honestly, that was Georgia playing their best game, and I wouldn't say that was y'all's worst game. It's, I think, worst game y'all probably could have gotten blown out by a lot.
Yeah.
But, definitely y'all not playing your best game with them playing their best game.
And I mentioned having to beat Georgia twice in a row or make them have 2 straight losses is a scary thing to have to happen.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we both very much respected Georgia before the year. And knew that this is the talent they had. So
we were both on Dog Nation, dude. We were in the dog pound.
Yep.
So and
we made the playoffs.
I brought this up, I think, to you. I think Michigan needs not needs anymore, needed, because it's over now with those two, but needed to be a little bit more creative with the ways they pass rushed.
Yeah.
Ojabo, am I saying that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or is it just Ojabo?
It's Ojabo.
Ojabo, okay. And then Hutchinson, because obviously a lot of times you can just line them up and let them go, and they beat whoever they're playing against. But it was clear that wasn't working, and so they needed to be more creative with their pass rushing with Evan. I think they failed on making that making that adjustment at halftime, I brought up that I think that they should. I can't recall seeing them one time rush them on the same side of the ball, on the same side of the line, and
Yeah.
I really think they need to do that. I mean, sometimes your best, like if you pass rush your best on the same side, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like
It
it is a
will.
problem.
And one
It
adjustment we
forces
made.
you to choose to
Yeah.
who you're singling.
Yeah. One late adjustment we made that was too late. I mean, but it helped was playing pretty much Daxton Hill at the line and letting him
Hmm.
either kind of free rush or drop the tight end, and he batted 3 passes down because
Yeah.
he knew where Stetson Bennett's one read was, and that was all he
Yeah.
was looking. So every time he got the read, he rushed the open lane, batted it down because he knew he wasn't looking anywhere but that one spot. So he was
Mhm.
ready to jump at any point. And Stetson never tried a pump fake, never looked to second in the read. He stared his one guy down, and it got
Do
deflected.
you? I'm curious how you feel about this. How do you think that game would have gone differently if it was JT Daniels instead?
I mean, honestly, I think we still, if the game script how it went, they just came out better. I think we get some sacks, but because how much they were hitting some explosive plays on our DBs, I think he just might hit a couple more deep shots because he would be more I mean, anytime I saw like a over the middle 15-20 yards downfield, I wasn't concerned because he was throwing it high, and a couple times they got pulled in by just good catches, and then Bennett would overthrow him by like 5-10 yards. I think JT Daniels hit some of those. So I think we maybe not big plays, but I think we would see more like 20-yard completions from JT Daniels and maybe a couple more sacks.
Yeah.
But I think they just had their running backs were all on. All 3 of them were just. Apparently,
Yeah.
Michigan has a problem with anyone in the Cook family because Dalvin tore us up a few years ago,
Did he?
and then his brother just tore us up too. So I think
Yeah.
we have a problem with the Cook running backs, and then there's all their running backs just dominated. So I don't.
Yeah.
I think game script would have been similar. I think JT Daniels might have just made a couple different reads, and would have taken a couple sacks.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I think in the end it was just they had the better script. They got to have their loss to figure out what we need to do to adjust, and
Yeah.
it came the game before they played us, which is not a good time.
Right.
They gave them weeks to fix what Alabama showed, and
Yep.
that was an issue.
Yes, it was.
But speaking of Alabama, we had the
This
27-6.
game's a lot more straightforward.
A lot more straightforward. I mean, I don't see, to the people that of course are gonna say anything about Cincinnati. I mean, was this really? This was way better than Michigan State trying to play Bama. I feel like this was still better than Washington trying to play Alabama. I mean, this is just having to play Alabama. They set their course for Cincinnati. Said we're not going to let you pass on us, and they got ran all over because they're just not big enough. I mean, you look at Bryce Young. Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns, but 17 for 28 and 181. They
Yeah.
did a good job on that end. They couldn't tackle Robinson though, but
No, but with that point, to me that's not on Bryce. Like I don't think that game was a hit on Bryce
I
at
don't
all.
think it's a
because
hit on him.
if they're also gonna allow you to run the ball, and they're not gonna stack the box against Bama, and you're gonna allow their running backs to run like that, and you're physically dominating at the line, why pass?
No, I agree. I mean, they made the right. It's what was given to them. They took and they killed
Yeah,
it. But I mean,
Absolutely.
the corner play from Cincinnati was there.
For sure. But like I don't know. I don't think I think if it would have came down to it and he had to throw the ball, I don't think he would have been like just absolutely shut out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and then this comes down to me. My other thought is I'm just not a huge Ritter fan.
Yeah.
I just
Well, I think we both agreed that if he was going to have a shot at all, he was going to have to play
yeah,
outside of his mind, and yeah.
just
Well,
wasn't there.
yeah. Nope.
So yeah, you're right. A lot more straightforward, but hey, Cincinnati deserved it. That's what this is why we want. This is why we're asking for the playoffs that we want. You can't say 100 and what is it now, like 40 FBS teams. You can only say 2 of them should be in the national championship. There's not another path like any other sport in college football, any other sport in the world.
Yeah.
And the people that I saw some people saying like, see, this is why there's only 2 elite teams in a year. But if we had only 2 spots, wouldn't it not have been Michigan versus Bama? So did this not actually give us the 2 best teams by having at least 4?
Right.
So I don't understand that argument. Like, I've seen a lot of people like, see, college football doesn't need to expand more to 12 or 8 because there's only 2, maybe 3 elite teams a year. But if we did just do 2 and go off that assumption, Georgia would have missed out because there would have been no way you put an SEC champion or not an SEC champ over a Power 5 champ, right?
No, I mean, I don't think in the entirety of the BCS era, we never saw the same
Alabama,
conference
LSU.
teams. Did they play each other?
Mhm.
Oh, that was the year the Honey Badger was there, right?
The terrible championship game.
Yeah, it was.
I straight up did not actually watch that game. I really did protest. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this again.
Woof.
Yeah. So, anyways, and to me, to speak on expansion would work is, yes, you're right, 2-3 elite teams, they should easily still make it there. And then in the end, look where our New Year's 6 games were. We still have, yes, you're right, 2-3 elite teams, but 5 through 12 is very, very good and very close. As we see 5 versus 9, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, great game. Ohio State, Utah, Rose Bowl of since the Texas USC game, right?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, yes, Baylor, Ole Miss wasn't as close once Corral went out, but Baylor showed that they had a great defense. I mean, you even go back to the Peach Bowl. It was an entertaining game between Michigan State and Pitt, and that didn't have their superstars.
Yeah. Yeah.
You give all those guys, if they're not going to have opt-outs in the playoffs, so you give all those teams at full strength. Wouldn't a very fun 12-team playoff? Just saying.
Right.
And you're right. The 2-3 elite teams will still be in the national championship. But is it not right that you at least get to have these matchups? Because I mean, to be fair, Ohio State screwed around a little too much this year, but that game's Smith and Jigba going for 300 yards basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, 300 and 3 touchdowns, and they didn't have Olave and Garrett Wilson. Like, come on, you telling me that team? I mean, as much as I dislike them, we had our best game, and they did not have a good game when we played them. But you're telling me you put them in the playoff run? That wouldn't have been a team Bama and Georgia would not have wanted to face.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to go back to something real quick. I'm sorry, this is a little off topic, but you said Ole Miss and talking about Corral. Did they end up saying? I know it was an ankle. Did they end up saying everything was negative, like X-rays were negative? And
I did see, yeah. Kiffin
so
did say something about. Kiffin did say something about it came out negative.
Okay, so it was probably just a really bad sprain.
But hey, Baylor won with 40 passing yards.
God. Woof.
Yeah. So, anyways, so just kind of wrapping up here, college football real quick. I guess if you want to point out, LSU played with like barely any scholarship players and a wide receiver playing quarterback last night. They had apparently the same amount of scholarship players that A&M had when they backed out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously saw that thrown around. But Monday, January 10th, Indianapolis, Georgia, Alabama rematch. This is what you predicted, so I will let you have it.
Yeah, I was super close. Obviously, I had, I believe I had Bama 1 seed, Georgia 3, because I had predicted that Bama would beat Georgia in the SEC. The only thing that I had wrong was basically I had Ohio State beating Michigan and being in Michigan's spot.
Yeah. You had the Big Ten champ.
I had the Big Ten champ. I had Cincy at 4, Alabama beating Cincy, Michigan beating, Georgia beating, whoever came out of that conference. And, here we are. And I said Georgia would win. So, but I keep flipping back and forth on this one because I know for the sake of my pick and for the sake of just college football in general, I want Georgia to win. Do you feel? I don't know if I'm there yet, but do you feel it's bad for college football if Bama wins again here?
No.
I think we're getting to that point though.
Yeah, I mean, it's close because this is like, well, this is a team that should beat Bama, and then they got themselves a little embarrassed in the SEC championship game. And guess what? They said, Georgia, you're the favorite in this game as the 3 and over the 1. So Bama is the number 1 seed and an underdog. So guess who gets to embrace that?
Yeah, but I don't know. At what point do I mean? A lot of people are already there. A lot of people are already there, but I'm not there yet. But like, at what point do I break down and say it doesn't matter? All of this doesn't matter. We know Bama's gonna win it.
I guess it still gives me hope because they do take a loss that shouldn't happen during the regular season. So there's always that, like, there is that window of they are beatable.
Yeah, but like when it comes down to it, when they're actually in the play, because so the only thing that stopped them the past few years is obviously a really uncharacteristically good LSU team, and then Clemson, and those Clemson teams because they had Trevor Lawrence and before that Deshaun Watson, you know. But now the era of Clemson is gone, and I don't know if we have another team to step up like Clemson to be another dynasty alongside Alabama yet. So
That's where
next,
you hope that, well, I don't hope, but you look at the ranks of, like, Ohio State's been there and has won one. You look at, does Lincoln Riley take advantage of the California talent and just build that team and stops the talent from leaving?
oh, you're just gonna leave us out?
Does any team in Texas? Okay,
No,
I mean,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But I get what you're saying.
has-
You want one of those other teams to step up, but I just don't know if they're there
Jimbo
yet.
just had technically the highest ranked recruiting class ever.
That dude, he's not gonna do anything with that.
But you see people being able to pull talent at the highest level. Now,
Yeah.
the issue is, yes, if you're not a top 5 recruiting team, it is. I think I sent it to you, and if I haven't, I can send it to you. But a cool thing to look at is the 24/7 team composite.
Mhm.
If you've ever looked at it, and for anyone out there, it's a cool thing
I
to
used
look
to.
at. Yeah. Someone was saying, like, since they 24/7 did this team composite, basically you have to have over 50% 4 and 5 star players. If not, you will not win a national title. And the only time, and most of the time, I think they said it was like 60% or higher. And the only time it wasn't like that was the
Probably that
Deshaun
LSU.
Watson. No, Deshaun Watson. No, because that LSU team still had a lot of 4 or 5 star guys.
Yeah.
So basically, that team composite was just so high, that, or not, it was Deshaun Watson led that Clemson team way over expectations because of him. They were at like 50%. That's why it's 50% and higher. You have to win it because he was the outlier of the lowest team.
Yeah.
So, just a fun little thing. But I mean, I guess in that sense, yes, you're right. He's always going to pull on that talent. So you need to have the team and the coaches that you need to be pulling in those composites. Because I mean, I'll just throw this out. So this is how they do it. Alabama was 1,000. How they do their points, I don't know, but was 1,001.89. Georgia 1,001.79. Next closest is Ohio State 985. And then you scroll all the way to playoff team Michigan at 15, 832.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you honestly though. Do you like honestly think that that's going to be a winning? Like, do you think A&M's going to win anything?
No, because it's more of like I just haven't seen it. Until I actually see it, then I'll believe it. But if you do go by it, I mean, they're 8th, and now they're putting together classes, so they got to move up. But honestly, at this point, I feel like you have to be top 5 in this team composite to have a chance. In the top 5 this year, which is going to surprise you at 5, but it goes Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU. LSU just
that doesn't surprise me because so it's composite for all of your team, all
Yes.
of your players,
Correct.
right? I mean, the guys who are at 3 and 4 year, seniors, juniors are going to be, or juniors really are going to be coming off of we want to go here. They will look at what Joe Burrow did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then rounding on, it goes Oklahoma, Florida, A&M, Oregon, USC as to 10. Texas was 11.
Yeah, we'll take that.
But, I mean, looking at it, I mean, once you look at the difference, I mean, once you drop below that 5, it gets kind of like, ooh, yeah, you're right. That 6 through 10, you've just got to have everything clicking and developing great. I mean, I think this is going to be kind of a true thing. If you aren't recruiting to get your composite in that top 5, you're not winning a natty unless you have the best development of development.
Well, and I mean, that was very much a scenario of they had by far the best quarterback in the country.
Right.
Like Deshaun Watson was, way above everybody else at that point.
Right. I mean, and that's the difference is also, do you just have the quarterback?
Yeah.
Do you have the quarterback that can change everything?
Which, I guess that leads me into saying, as much as I want to say Georgia's going to win, and I am going to pick them just because I want them to win based off of my prediction, and I want somebody other than Bama to win, Bama has the quarterback. They have Bryce Young. They have the Heisman winner. I think that's probably going to be the difference maker. And they have the wide receivers that are so good.
Right. Yeah. I'm very split. I'm going to sit and watch the game with my arms crossed, being upset. Because
I'm curious how much better this Georgia team would have been if they had a completely healthy Pickens this entire year.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's such a monster. He's good. Obviously, still, we were both curious how much playing time he was going to get in the last game. Turns out, not a lot.
No,
not
he
a
was
lot.
there. Made some good blocks.
Well, he's huge. He definitely was going to block the hell out of y'all's corners.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm also back and forth because my preseason pick was Georgia. And yes, do you say, hey, we lost to the national champion? I don't know. And also my just random dislike for Stetson Bennett holds me back. Just don't like him. Just don't like the way.
Who'd you like less? Stetson Bennett or
Nick Saban winning another national title?
No, I'm blanking on his name. The Washington quarterback.
Oh, Jake Browning? Oh, no, I do hate Jake Browning more.
Dude, you hated Browning.
I did. Because they hyped him up too much. I feel like at least Stetson Bennett is hyped up as what he is, like the glorified game manager. They were still Reese Fowler, or Chris Fowler, sorry. Chris Fowler was too obsessed with Stetson Bennett in that game, was driving me nuts. But I feel like for the most part, everyone does see him for what he is, and just as a really good game manager. But Jake Browning, they hyped up to be like he was going to be a stud, and he was he
was getting like preseason Heisman hype.
And he had great receivers that he didn't take advantage as well as he should have.
I feel like that led
Pettis
you to hate
John
Dante
Ross.
Pettis more than you should have.
I had nothing against Dante Pettis.
I loved Dante Pettis.
I liked Pettis and Ross, and I felt they both could have been better if their quarterback actually could throw the passes ahead of them, and they had to stop running backwards 10 yards to get a pass.
Those are two guys in my head that I'm still like, I haven't lost hope on in the NFL. Dante Pettis, I definitely should already have lost hope on, but I haven't. John Ross, the only reason I haven't is because anytime he's been healthy and gets a shot, he's good.
Yeah. No, I liked both of those guys. I felt they got a disservice because Browning couldn't lead them. If Browning
Yeah.
could lead them in a pass, like John Ross, I feel like, I mean, maybe it was to his advantage on some, but he was open deep, and Browning would underthrow him by 10 yards because he couldn't throw it far. So then Ross would have to run backwards 10 yards, and the DB was so confused because Ross is now running, changed directions, had beat him, now running the other way, catches it, and now the guy's just kind of spun in a circle, and then Ross gets a touchdown. But I'm like, or you just hit him in stride, and it's an easy touchdown.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it because he couldn't throw it in front of the receiver because his arm was terrible.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Georgia 24, Bama 21.
I'm just going to take Bama. 28-24.
28-24. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think Georgia's going to lose like they did. Georgia is just extremely talented, but it is still Nick Saban's who's got some juju over Georgia. So I guess that's also kind of, hey, when I picked Georgia, I said I needed Bama out of the playoffs so that there is no Bama in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it is hard to beat a team twice. So that's where I go back and forth. But there's just kind of that they have it, and I think they can. But until I see it, I'm going to pick Bama.
If Georgia wins, I feel like there should be a mandatory rematch, a rubber match.
Best of 3.
Yeah,
Run it
best
back.
of 3.
Run it back.
So we'll meet here one week later.
Yeah, sounds good. So, all right. Well, we'll hit the break here, and then on the other side, it will be time to look at the NFL and the last week of regular season action before we hit the playoffs. So stay tuned.
Twelve Ounce Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12 Ounce Sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120OZ and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sports book. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
And we are back here on the other side, and breaking news. Official statement. Elmo has apologized to Rocco.
What?
Did you not see the video?
No.
Oh man. Elmo went off on Sesame Street apparently about one of the other Sesame Street characters' pet rock was having a cookie that he wanted, and she wouldn't let him have the cookie, and he's like, "It's a rock, it has no mouth." So people have been tearing it up on the internet with the meme games about Elmo just lighting into this rock.
That's intense.
So they had to tweet off the Elmo account that they're still friends. It's okay. It's just a disagreement.
Wow. Elmo.
Yeah.
Chill out, bro.
I don't know, man. He's got a good point if you go watch the video.
Fair.
So, anyways, it is NFL action here. We just had week 17 wrapped up, and no, that does not mean it is the end of the regular season, because we now have week 18. And I mean, really, it's the AFC side that is all over the place. NFC is pretty locked up. Based on the action now, your Saints still have a window of opportunity here with a 49ers loss to the Rams.
Yeah, we do.
Who the
Yeah,
Rams
we do.
will be playing for the NFC West title because they do need to win or Arizona lose, but Arizona will be playing at the same time. So they need to just straight up win.
Yes, they do. So, I have good hope for this, actually. I think this is a legitimate possibility. We already got beat by the Falcons. We need to beat them. I can't really remember if... I think we're away... Question mark?
Oh, I did not look yet.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Yeah.
It is not telling me. It's... Oh, they have the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but they're both... Oh, it's Stadium. That's Atlanta. That's so annoying. They both have Mercedes-Benz on them. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. Now we're the Caesars Superdome.
Caesars. Yeah, that's right. Well, it is in Atlanta.
But we've already lost to them once this season. So, we need to split the series. We can win this game. And I very much believe that the Niners can get beat by the Rams here. I want to say off of the top of my head that the 49ers are having some COVID issues this week. Let's see. And Garoppolo's supposed to be back, I believe.
Most likely, because they were kind of making it all over the place about he could have potentially played this last week. So he did return to practice today. But also, well, for this game, Cam Akers was given a green light to return versus the 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Ambry Thomas, their corner, is out for he's on COVID reserve. Elijah Mitchell's questionable with a knee. Trent Williams is questionable. Tart's questionable. Obviously, you still have Sanu and Mosley out. They've been out like all season pretty much.
The Niners did whoop on the Rams on Monday Night Football earlier.
Say that again?
49ers whooped on the Rams on Monday Night Football earlier this year.
Right, so it would make sense that they split. I think this is trending up for the Saints.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that means we would get the 7 seed, which means we would have to play probably the Rams.
Oh, yeah, if the Rams win, then yes, you're right. Rams would hold the 2 seed. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking...
Oh, my God. Redemption.
In LA, too,
oh
in their stadium.
Oh, my God. Oh, to upset them. Oh, Dom. Oh, my God.
So it's happening?
Oh, I was thinking we were going to have to play the Bucks, and we'd get beat by, like, 1 billion. Would we have to play them the next round, though?
Yes. No.
Why am I even entertaining this? Like we're gonna like freaking have a chance at someone else in the next round if we were to play. Like the only reason we get past the wild card game would be if it was against the Rams, because it would be like a passionate like we have to have to atone for the sins. Like that's the only reason we'd win a game in that wild card game. It doesn't matter if we play the Bucks, Cowboys, Packers, Cards in the next round, we'd get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Because basically, if the Niners make it to the playoffs, they're the 6th seed. Eagles are 7. But if we make the playoff, the Eagles are the 6th seed and we're the 7.
Correct, because they have the head-to-head on you.
Right. But what? Okay. They have the head-to-head. But what doesn't make sense to me then in that case is why would the Niners get bumped out? Why wouldn't the Eagles get bumped out?
It's a tiebreaker.
They have the head-to-head.
The 49ers?
Yeah, the 49ers beat the Eagles this year.
Okay, well, you can keep talking about the Saints. I'm going to look in this.
I've looked this up and down trying to figure out what it is, and it makes no sense to me. But yeah, I think I think the Saints have a real shot at beating the Falcons. I mean, Taysom Hill's there. We're getting quite a few players back from COVID, but I don't. At some point, I'm like, is it actually even worth it? Obviously, you always want to make the playoffs, but I almost feel like, is it worth it? Because if we would just lose and be 8-9, better draft pick, maybe we somehow sneak in there and get one of those quarterbacks. Like, I don't know, but I think I'm looking at this.
So here you go. Because the Eagles would be losing, in this scenario, that would be a 3-way tie.
Why would but the Eagles don't have to lose.
No,
the Saints can.
Right.
Sorry.
But so the thing is, the Eagles lose or win. If they win, they're definitely in, and the 49ers lost. It doesn't matter there. Then they just have the better record. If
Right.
Because you're thinking they have now, in the scenario is they lose, 49ers lose, Saints win. That is now a 3-way tie, which then it doesn't matter about the head-to-head. It becomes best in conference opponents. And the Eagles Saints are 7-5. 49ers would be 6-6 with the loss.
I think that's stupid. I think it should still revert to head-to-head right there. If it's between the Niners and the Eagles right there.
But the Eagles have the tiebreaker on the Saints, so you can't go head-to-head.
But you go head-to-head with the Niners and Eagles.
But the issue would be
since it's a 3-way?
3-way tie. That's why the 49ers are 6 and the Eagles are 7 right now, because yes, in a 2-way scenario right now, 49ers are 6 because of the tiebreaker.
But if it's a 3-way tie, you can't bring in head-to-head too.
Correct. Unless a team has beaten both of them.
Dude, that sucks so hard for the Niners.
Yeah.
Like, if we beat the Niners and the Eagles, or if we beat the Falcons, 49ers lose, Eagles lose, that is the biggest crock of shit for the 49ers.
Yeah.
That would suck so hard. Especially because, dude, let's be honest, 49ers, but if both teams are healthy, the 49ers are so much better than the Eagles.
Yeah. They would definitely
I'm
be a
sure a
very
lot of
good
people
team left
disagree
out.
with that, but I think the Niners are good.
Yeah. So that's how they would miss out.
Yikes.
So, anyways, I mean, really on the other ends of that, everything's pretty much all locked up. Other than that, also West is Cardinals have to have a Rams loss and a win, and then for the Rams they just need a win or a Cardinals loss to the Seahawks. So NFC is pretty straightforward. So then looking on the AFC side, which is the last 2 spots are open, but there is a lot of flip-flopping potentially at the top, which Cincinnati technically has a way to get the first seed, but they pretty much sound like they're resting a lot of starters. Chase and Burrows looks like they're not playing, and Mixon's on COVID, but technically they could win a first seed. If they win, Tennessee, Kansas City, and New England all lose. Or Cincinnati wins, Tennessee loses, Kansas City loses, and Buffalo wins, which seems pretty unlikely, so they will not be trying. Kansas City, Tennessee is pretty simple. Tennessee gets it with the win. Kansas City needs Tennessee to lose to the Texans and win to get the first round bye. And then Buffalo, New England both do have to try, as Buffalo just needs a win or a New England loss. However, New England, I did not realize, has a technical way to a first round bye too. With a win, a Buffalo loss, a Kansas City loss, and a Tennessee loss. New England win, they get a first round bye. And then they can just straight up win the East if they win and Buffalo loses. So, granted, they are playing each other, so.
Lord.
Or no, not playing each other. My bad. That already happened. They're playing the Dolphins. And the Bills are playing the Jets. So, and then of course the wild card spots is Indianapolis winning in, or win or tie, excuse me, or they need a couple different loss scenarios. But really, their scenario is winning in, just straight up on that. Chargers winning in, win or tying in. Raiders winning in, or Indianapolis loss and a Pittsburgh loss, or an Indianapolis loss and they tie. And then Pittsburgh needs a win, a Colts loss, and the Chargers Raiders doesn't tie. And Ravens need a lot with a win, a loss to the Chargers, loss for the Colts, and a Dolphins loss. So, as the scenario says, it is Chargers Raiders is a for sure spot no matter what. And as we see, that has been flexed to Sunday night, as a proper game should be in that situation. So really, do the Colts, it then falls, can they win in Jacksonville? Granted, it's been a long time since they apparently have won in Jacksonville. I know that's not really that scary to say, but do they get it done?
I don't know,
As
man.
a 15.5 point favorite
Where is it at again?
in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville.
As apparently a lot of Jaguar fans will be dressing up as clowns to the game
Why?
because their franchise is a clowns show.
Oh, okay. Nah, Jacksonville's gonna lose. Nah, as much as I like to be like, I don't know. Nah, Jacksonville will lose for sure.
How much?
Dude, I
does
can't stop
Jonathan
thinking
Taylor
about the
get the-
Titans.
Oh,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, the only thing I would throw on this, Jonathan Taylor is only 2 touchdowns away from 20.
How many yards does he have right now?
1738.
Oh, dang! Can't make 2,000.
Unlikely to make 2.
Unlikely to say the least.
But
Ooh.
possible.
Yeah, you could do 20. That's for sure. Did you see the there was like a rushing leaders. It was like rushing leader. Jonathan Taylor won with however many he had. 2, Jonathan Taylor after first contact.
Yeah.
Then it was the next person with like all their yardage. It's wild.
Well, and to
It's
your point you
wild.
were just about to make, returning for a potential 1 seed, Derrick Henry, who is still 6 in rushing yards, who hasn't played since the end of October.
Wild. He would have gone for 2K again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He might have broke the rushing record this year.
I wouldn't have been surprised. 8 games. 8 games, he had 937 yards. It's 117 a game.
8 games, dude.
So 17 games, 18 weeks. No, it would have been 1989 if he's had his average for the full season. Which
Yeah.
could have still been more than, he played 8 games, so it could have been any wild game. Could have got him over 2,000.
Wild.
We only have 5 1,000-yard rushers this year. I mean, if Henry does play, he could get himself there. Zeke, if he has a 85-yard game, and really, there's a couple that would need 100-yard plus games. So I mean, really, we're probably looking at 6, maybe 7 1,000-yard rushers this year.
That's nuts.
And we got 21 receivers, which I know obviously that's usually always a lot higher. With
Yeah.
I would say about 7 that will definitely get there too.
Lord.
So, Brady is 10 yards away from 5,000 yards this year.
Bro, that's insane. That's insane. Do you remember me like, oh man,
You
it hit
said
me.
no, he's not going to do that.
I was like, there's no way. I was wrong, dude. Goodness. I've seen a lot of people being like, I don't understand why Brady's not going to be the MVP if he's got, like, first in yardage, first in touchdowns. And I was like, Drew Brees is somewhere dying laughing because he was first in touchdowns, first in yards, first in pass completions, like, every year for, like, 5 straight years, and he never won an MVP. Never. What a joke. Oh, now you guys think that. Okay, cool. Then go ahead and give Drew Brees that MVP. MVP for most valuable follicles, even though it's follicles didn't spell with a P, but follicle regrowth. Man grew back some hair real fast the second he retired. Suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or as the bad guy, Aaron Rodgers, with the 4 interceptions.
He's gonna win it.
Yeah. I just want to throw out a fair player to get votes, who is now a member.
JT.
Hmm?
JT. Jonathan Taylor.
Yes, but I'm throwing another one in.
Okay.
The first in completion percentage and fifth in yards right now,
Burrow?
Mr. Joe Burrow. That Bengals team would
Broadway
be
Joe?
nothing without him.
Nope. Nope.
I think
No.
he's got to get comeback player of the year, right? As much as the Dak
yeah.
thing happened, I think you got to get the Burrow, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Who do you have for defensive player?
Oh, that is so tough. I mean, that game the other night, as much as TJ Watt might break the sack record.
Yeah.
If he breaks the sack record, he's at 21.5 sacks.
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
As much as Micah Parsons is insane this year.
I'm sorry though, but like you got to give it to
Yeah.
TJ Watt. He should have gotten it last year.
Right.
I mean, he should have gotten it last year. I'm ready for a corner to like step up and just go nuts another year. Like, I feel like we haven't had a crazy. So obviously, Diggs has had a really good year
Right.
in terms of interceptions, but like everything else, no. But like, I want another. You remember that Charles Woodson year, for Green Bay when he had like an insane amount of tackles, like led the league in interceptions by a shit ton, and like was just killing it. Like I want another like safety corner year like that, where it's just like, did Stephon Gilmore win one a few years ago?
I feel like he did.
I don't remember it being. It was more of like because he locked people down though. Wasn't really like. He didn't have like a ton of interceptions or anything like that.
There was
I don't
AP
think.
Defensive Player of the Year 2019. In 2019, he did have 6 interceptions though, which is that's a lot for someone that you don't throw at.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Diggs is definitely not someone you don't throw at. You actually do throw at him.
Right, and that's not taking away from. And I know his Cowboy fans off when people show the stats or yardage that's been thrown on him. That's not saying he's a bad corner, but he's not a shutdown. He's not a Darrell Revis.
He's
but
an opportunist.
The man is a playmaker. You can say that.
He's an opportunist. He takes advantage. What he is he's one of the better catching corners in the league, and he takes full advantage of every time a quarterback makes a mistake. That's what he does. But
There's
when they
nothing wrong with
don't
that.
make mistakes, he gets smoked.
Yeah. I'd also just want to circle back to the TJ Watt thing. He's missed 2 games. So it's not one of those, like, I know Cooper Kupp has said, like, hey, if I break the receiving yards record, I deserve an asterisk with an extra game. This is not. TJ Watt will be doing a sack record in 15 games.
Has Cooper Kupp said that?
He did.
That's kind of cool.
He said it really should be an asterisk because he gets an extra game.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But when you look at the sack record, you go, oh, well, TJ Watt did it in a 17-game year. When he's missed 2 games.
So he's really down 1 game.
Right. He just needs a sack and a half. A sack and a half. Will he get the Strahan fall down sack? It'll be very interesting because will it be
where they like counted if he just falls on him after the.
Well, Brett Favre kind of just fell down and then he got the sack.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Well, Brett Favre probably could have escaped it, threw it away, but he kind of just fell and got the sack.
I, as a quarterback, would not do that.
So, but that will be a huge because Lamar's out. Or not out. He didn't practice today. He's questionable. So if it's Tyler Huntley versus Lamar Jackson, will be an interesting.
It's hard to get a sack on either one of those dudes, though.
Yeah. But if it is Lamar, but then it is a banged up Lamar, so does that change your thoughts too?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So. Anyways, so I think we should dive into our picks then.
Oh yeah.
What we're thinking here these last looks like 5-6 minutes we got, and just dive right in. I believe you are now 1 up, correct?
I am 1 up. I had 120 last week. Is that
I
right?
have 110.
Yeah, 120.
So I may at the end be really just throwing some games at you first to see if I have to just go different.
That's fair. That's fair. You might just want to let me do the picks first, so you can decide if you want to.
Yeah, that's I might do that for some of these later ones. But for Saturday, I will let you know. I don't think we're gonna have different, and I'm not going to try to be different. I'm going to take Chiefs over Broncos and Cowboys over Eagles.
I am also going to take Chiefs over Broncos, Cowboys over Eagles.
All right. So then going into the Sunday slate, as mentioned, a lot of players not out for the Bengals or not playing for the Bengals, and we have Case Keenum playing for the Browns. Give me
Who's
Case.
the Bengals back up?
Give me. Oh yeah, that'd be like Kyle Allen, isn't it?
Is it Kyle Allen?
Who came in and took the kneel and then the spike for the Bengals?
Okay, hold on.
It's one of those Allens.
Let me look at there.
Brandon Allen, wrong one.
Oh, Brandon Allen. I'll still take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns.
if it was Keenan Allen, or not Keenan
Kyle,
Allen.
yeah, Kyle's in Washington.
Oh,
dang
if
it.
Keenan Allen was on that team.
Yeah.
If Kyle Allen. If it was Kyle Allen, I probably would have taken the Bengals.
Yeah, nope.
I don't think Kyle Allen's that bad.
No, he's a good backup, but
Yeah.
this will be the game that the Browns fans are like, we should have started Case Keenum more, even though the Bengals aren't trying. So give me Browns as well. I don't care how much they're playing. I'm taking the Packers over Lions.
Packers. Yeah, I'd take Love over the Lions, I think.
All right. This next one is two teams not playing for anything, but Justin Fields will be playing versus the Vikings, and Zimmer did say it will be Kirk Cousins, as if you saw the quote from Zimmer absolutely blasting Kellen Mond. They said, "Are you going to give him a shot?" And he says, "No, not at all. Not a chance." And they go, "Well, why not?" And he said, "I've seen him throw."
I think that was...
That's a little mean. That was just more a little frustrating from a bad loss, though.
No, I think that was a fair comment. I think it was taken out of... He's always a grumpy dude. He's never
Really?
like a happy dude. He was just... I think it's fair. People don't understand that like, he sees him every day. He knows what he is. He doesn't need to give him a look. If he says he's not ready, he's not fucking ready. Whoop, sorry. He's not ready. He's not ready.
Who you got?
I'll take Vikings. Do it.
Give
Do
me the
it.
Bears.
Yeah.
They won too many games at the end. Do they keep Matt Nagy?
Ugh.
They haven't. Matt Nagy claims that they said he has not been fired yet, or at the end of the year yet. Next one is football team at Giants. I will just straight up say I'm taking football team.
That's pretty bad when you gotta claim you haven't been fired yet.
Yeah.
I'm also taking football team.
Especially after that Joe Judge rant about how they don't punch people on the sidelines, straight up shading Washington, even though you're a 4-12 team that just threw 7 passes in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not in Washington, right?
It is in New York.
Okay, so
I
we
don't
have to
think it
worry about,
matters.
any injuries. Of
No more
fans.
stadium falling apart. The Giants fans, maybe they'll get another medium soda for free. Maybe not. Man, what a joke of two organizations.
Bro, fire Snyder.
No.
Fire that man. God bless. Fire that man.
We both already have picked Colts over Jacksonville, so moving on.
Yep.
Do you take Big Ben or the Ravens?
I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Good, because I was not changing my answer on this one. I'm taking Ravens. I can't. After the 2.5 yards per pass that the Steelers did,
Last
that everyone
game.
praised. Look, and I saw so many people like, wait, does anyone actually outside of Pittsburgh actually like him? Because I don't. They're like, ESPN sure is hyping him up as someone that people like, and I don't think anyone outside of Pittsburgh likes the man.
We used to.
Nah.
I used to like Big Ben before,
Yes.
at the very least, you could say what you want about what happened. At the very least, we know he's scummy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Do the Texans pull off a miracle upset versus the Titans?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Number 1 seed Titans, watch out.
I would not. They're not actually planning on playing Derrick Henry this week, though, are they?
Not been
I would-
determined. He's just been activated so that they can take him off. He's practiced a little bit, but I doubt they'll play him. That's more just so he can practice and be eligible to come off.
Yeah. I you know what? I'd have him suit up.
Yeah, just
Have
to
him suit up.
freak everyone out.
Yeah.
I will not change my answer on this. I'm going to agree with yours. I'm going to take the Saints over the Falcons.
Yes, sir.
Next two, I think we'll both agree on. So just gonna swing through.
Bill.
We're both taking Bills and
Both
both taking
taking
Pats. Yep,
Yep, both taking Bucks.
both taking Bucks. And then this one, actually
I got
probably
Rams.
going to be different than you no matter what. I think the 49ers are just too good of a team to. Their juju will get them in because they should be a playoff team.
They should be. We should not make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. Taking Rams though.
No.
I believe.
Seahawks Cardinals.
I'll say Cards.
Yeah, I can't. And the playoff
this is
play-in
fun.
game, Chargers Raiders.
I'm excited for this. You know, I want to see Herbert in the playoffs. I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah,
As much as I feel like the Raiders deserve a playoff spot for everything they've gone through,
Yeah.
the good start, then everything that happened, and the way Derek Carr's carried himself through this. Derek Carr's really impressed me this year, and I'm a huge. I was already kind of a fan of his. I'm a huge fan of his now. It's just the way he's carried himself. I hope.
I felt he got
think-
very disrespected by Gruden by like all the trade rumors and like, no, you have a
Yeah.
quarterback and you're just not putting a good team around him.
Correct. So I like both of these teams. I'll say that. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me really who wins. I think Herbert would be more fun to watch though. So I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm taking Chargers. I just think the Raiders are just a little too down
Mm-hmm.
men. And I also feel like I have enough different picks from you throughout the week, so I
Fair.
will not deviate myself from there. So, well, there you go. So we will be next week talking about the national champion of college football, and we will be looking at our playoff preview for the NFL. So I just leave this for the end. It's just a post of the week. I don't know if you... For fighting. The video of the week is if you saw the referee in the hockey game who was just very animated about his penalty calls. He made sure to let everyone know that they were 5 minutes each for fighting.
Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah. So there you
Fight.
go. Fighting. So we'll be back next week, as mentioned, talking about those playoff games upcoming and the national champ. Always follow us on